A portion of today's show is brought to you by Health Diagnostic Laboratory, Inc.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Well, over the next few weeks, you're going to be learning more in-depth details about how a simple blood test can tell you almost everything that you need to know about your body and your health. So please welcome back to the show Boomer Cornwell from Health Diagnostic Laboratories, who is here to talk about the omega-3 index. What is that? Hey, Boomer, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We've been chatting a lot this morning. You were here taking some blood from me and the other ladies for a future show where we're going to talk about our own individual blood panels. But you're saying that the omega vitamins, omega-3, omega-6, or just omega-3 is important?
Well, all of it's important, but we get enough omega-6 and omega-9 actually from our diet. In fact, the American diet has well over 10 times the amount of omega-6 and 9 that we even need. So we really don't need to supplement that. Just the omega-3 is what we need to supplement.
And so why can't we find omega-3 in foods?
Well, you can in certain foods. For instance, like your salmon, your herring, those types of fishes, okay? Traditionally, you know, like a store-bought fish or something like that that was farmed somewhere in the South is probably not going to have the concentration of omega-3 that we need.
Do they add some of that in? Like if they do the farm-raised salmon and things like that?
They can. It's typically a synthetic version of it.
Yeah.
We want the more natural versions that naturally occur in fish.
And what is omega-3 going to do for us?
Well, so what HDL looks at is they're going to look at the actual red blood cell concentration of omega-3. So we look at specifically the EPA and the DHA, okay? Those are the two most important and key ingredients. If you look at a supplement, and let's say that it's high in fish oil, well, that won't necessarily mean anything to you. Or maybe it's high in omega-6, or even krill, which is kind of a marketing piece right now.
I've heard that,
krill doesn't really affect levels of omega-3. We're really looking at just the EPA and DHA. Well, through our index, we can tell a couple of things. If it's low, then we know that either A, we're not on the right supplement, okay, or maybe we have, option 2 would be we have an absorption problem, okay, where we're not taking in enough of it.
And isn't it true that some things, in order to be absorbed, you have to be taking other supplements that help your body absorb and break down?
True, yeah, and it kind of depends. I know that a lot of things are fortified with a calcium stearate. The reason that happens is because calcium will help you absorb several different key ingredients, but a lot of it is still dependent upon our body's ability to accept it.
So part of the blood panel work that you do for people is you tell them where they're deficient in any type of vitamin, mineral.
Yeah, we don't cover every single thing, but we cover the vitamins and minerals and indexes that are specific to, say, cardiovascular disease. Now, a low omega-3 index can also indicate other problems, not just cardiovascular. But one thing.
So that's what you're looking for. It's in relation to cardiovascular disease.
Right, cardiovascular and diabetes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. So, you know, when we take into consideration that if that omega-3 index is low, well, there's a couple of things that's going to happen. And one of the key roles that omega-3 will play is an anti-inflammatory process, okay? So we can see if we supplement with that, we can begin to fight inflammation, okay? Systemic inflammation even, cardiovascular inflammation.
And systemic inflammation would be the precursor to major diseases like even cancer and things like that.
There's a lot of science that suggests that you can tell what's coming by looking at the inflammatory process of the body, because the body will begin, as certain organ functions begin to cease or not work properly, we begin to develop inflammation.
And you were even telling me for things like osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And of course, you know, there's other things we can do about that too, but I mean, a very natural anti-inflammatory would be something like an EPA and DHA combination. There's that. Again, the cardiovascular risk associated with it too. In terms of, say, HDL, which is your high-density lipoprotein, well, a good omega-3 index can actually cause that good cholesterol to increase, which is what we want. We want an HDL level of, you know, preferably 60 or more.
You know what I'm hearing from you that I love, because it's kind of like a constant theme every time you're here, is to find out things, to find things early, to prevent them. It can solve so many problems for people, so many health problems, and yet we don't pay enough attention to doing those early tests that can really get us healthy.
Well, that's right. Now, there's a lot of things, like if you're talking about something like a type 1 diabetes or something that is inherited that kind of we're just going to kind of have, there's not a whole heck of a lot we can really do about that.
But still, you can start treating it sooner.
You can, absolutely. But if it is something that absolutely is preventable, like oncoming heart disease, oncoming diabetes, well, yeah, that's exactly what this lab is looking at, so we can actually take steps to never get that. you know?
Yeah.
So many people thought for a long time, well, let's, you know, unfortunately, let's wait for that first event to occur, then let's treat the event. Well, what if we can prevent that first event from ever even happening?
Which is what you guys are all about, and I love it. And I'm excited for you to come back and tell us what our results are with our blood test, too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you can talk to your doctor if you're interested in getting the HDL test. We will have Boomer and his colleagues back with us every Tuesday to learn more about how their test can help you and your family. You can get more information about the Health Diagnostic Laboratory by going to their website, hdlabinc.com. You can also call them at that number on your screen, 1-877-4HD-LABS. Love the work that you guys do. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we have details on an incredibly fun concert in Dallas this week, one that your entire family will enjoy. Stay tuned to hear all about it.